Have you ever felt like you're hitting your head against a wall, trying to figure out how a person can justify hurting you? In this video, we delve into the mind of narcissistic abusers to unveil the 8 ways they justify their behaviors. This will help you understand why they hurt you, that it was not your fault, and why they are unlikely to change. A devious way narcissists justify their behaviors is to make you believe that you deserved worse than what they did to you. They do this by comparing their actions to someone else's or to a worse action they could have taken. For instance, if you talk back to them and they slap you across the face, they might say, "You are lucky I'm more tolerant than my father. He would have given you a black eye for talking back." Not only does it mentally allow the narcissist to feel they were justified in what they did and lenient toward you, but it also warns you that you may suffer a worse punishment next time, which is a way to maintain control over you with fear. You could counter with, "My father would never have lifted a hand to my mother." How they react informs you if they care enough about you to change their behaviors. The second way narcissists justify their behaviors is by shifting blame onto you, by making you believe you in some way caused them to act the way they did. They believe they are the victim who was forced to react to your actions. When they become emotional, they use you as an emotional punching bag to vent their frustrations, and then blame you for their lack of managing their emotions. For instance, during a disagreement, they suddenly fly into a rage and then upturn furniture, then claim, "See what you made me do." This can make you feel guilty for causing them to become upset, and you may even start to live in anxiety for when anything you do or say may upset them, which allows them to get upset at any time they wish and blame it on you. You can counter with, "How exactly did I force you to react in that way?" If they get angry or refuse to accept full accountability for their actions, it shows their insecurities won't allow them to change their behavior or pattern of thinking. The next tactic is extremely destructive, as it strips away your humanity and basic human rights. Narcissists will often constantly refer to you using derogatory names such as useless, dog, or stupid instead of using your given name. They may also pick on a feature of yours, such as your nose, teeth, or ears, and claim it is not normal and makes you less human. Some may not even refer to you at all, but instead use shortened sentences, such as "going to the mall," instead of "are you going to the mall?" Mentally, the narcissist sees you as a piece of gum stuck under their shoe, which allows them to justify anything they do to you. This will make you feel worthless and ashamed of who you are, and believing you are inherently broken. You can counter by stating that your features do not make you less human than others, and demand they call you by your given name. If they refuse, you know that they are doing it to mentally justify hurting you, and that they will not change their behaviors. Covert narcissists love this devious tactic where they diffuse responsibility for their actions, as it allows them to play the victim at the same time. They justify their actions by claiming you or other people did the same actions as them, so you are being unfair to call out their actions. For instance, your partner frequently loses their temper and yells at you. When you tell them to stop, they respond with, "Oh, so now I am the only guilty one? You also sometimes raise your voice at me." And then they remind you of a time 2 years back when you snapped at them, conveniently forgetting they kept on pushing you until you snapped. Or they may say, "Well, your mother sometimes gets angry at you. Why single me out?" You can counter with, "Just because I raised my voice in the past does not excuse you from continuing to do so." Or, "Just because others do something does not give you an excuse to do it as well." If they claim you are being unfair or keep using others as excuses for their behavior, it shows they are not interested in changing. The fifth tactic is downright devious as it is often planned to turn you against the people who love and support you the most. The narcissist justifies their behavior by making you believe someone else is responsible for their behavior, often a friend or family member who is a threat to the narcissist's control over you. It then becomes you and your partner against the evil world who wants to break up your relationship and has it in for your partner. For instance, you visit your family and your partner makes a scene or goes off at you on the drive home. When you call out their behavior, they say, "I'm sorry, but you know how your family winds me up. They never liked me from the start." This can cause you to start to avoid your family so as not to upset your partner. And you may even end up hating your family, who you may believe are envious of you and wants to break up your relationship. You can counter with, "Just because my family upsets you does not give you the right to take your frustrations out on me. Next time I will visit them alone." If they refuse for you to see your family alone or continue to use others as excuses for their behavior, it's a clear sign they are not interested in changing. The sixth tactic is a classic way to justify toxic behaviors by completely disregarding the consequences of the behaviors, often by invalidating your emotions and feelings, as well as relabeling their actions. For example, the narcissist may say, "You are overreacting. It was a shove, not a punch." Or, "I never yelled at you. I only talked passionately." By downplaying things, they make you doubt your own experiences and make you feel guilty for your own emotions or feeling hurt. Over time, this can make you believe that you are too sensitive and overreacting to benign things. Know that emotions and feelings are automatic responses to what you experience and not wrong. You have a right to feel the way you do. You can counter with, "Regardless of your opinion of your actions, it hurt me and is unacceptable to me." If they continue to defend their actions or try to downplay your feelings, it shows that they do not care about your feelings, but only about protecting their image and avoiding responsibility. A covert narcissist's favorite way to justify their toxic behavior is by using euphemistic labelling. If you call them out on their actions, they make their behavior sound more benign than they are and claim to be the victim, often by relabeling their insults as a joke and then claiming you are overreacting, or that there's something wrong with you for not being able to take a joke. For instance, they call you an idiot when you trip and fall. When you get angry, they say, "Wow, I can't even make a silly joke without you getting upset." Covert narcissists are masters in insulting you while being able to claim plausible deniability. Even when they call your abilities in question, such as saying, "You will never be able to handle being a manager." When confronted, they turn around and claim they were only looking out for you as they did not want you to fail and get hurt. You can counter by calling out their excuses, such as saying, "Calling me an idiot was hurtful and not a joke." Or, "Relabeling what you did does not excuse you for hurting me." If they refuse to accept that they were wrong, you know they care nothing about your feelings or how their actions impact you and are not going to change. The last justification narcissists use can be infuriating. Instead of admitting any wrongdoing, they take the high ground and claim their actions are in your benefit. For instance, they instigate your romantic partner breaking up with you through lies and planting fake evidence, then claim they did you a favor because they believe you deserve better. Or they sabotage your studies or job interview and then claim they did it because they believe you would not be happy in that career. They fully believe they know what is best for you and that the ends justify the means, even as they destroy your career and life. Many will claim what they do is a form of tough love and that it hurts them more, but that it is what is best for you. You can counter with, "I have a right to live my life the way I want, and I expect you to respect and support my choices." If they deny your rights, claim you don't know what is best for you, or try to scare you with threats of cutting you off, you know they only care about themselves and their image. Sadly, Narcissists often do not care about words. To get them to change their behaviors, they need to face consequences for their actions. You do this by setting boundaries with them. However, when you do, you need to know how they will respond when you do set boundaries, which watching the video suggested to you right now will do.